We have an agreement with the school that we only keep students for 1 hour for our meeting, and so we need to get going. The basketball coach, men's basketball coach, is on his way, but we better get started. We are the Jack Frost Foundation. That's our website. We're a new organization. We have, for many years, 40 plus, been the Optimist Club International. But we have broken away simply because we felt like a lot of our funds were going to the Optimist International and not staying here in Georgetown. And the purpose and basis of our foundation is to honor and support the youth of Georgetown, and we wanted to keep all of our funds here, and that's why we have, this is the founding year of the Jack Frost Foundation. So we want to welcome, I don't know whether, I imagine most of you do know Jack Frost, and he is a member of our organization, and he is a wonderful man, and that's what we're here today to celebrate and to acknowledge is the basketball tournament that he initiated and sponsored every year at Thanksgiving time. And Milton Van Dusen is the man that runs the whole thing and is a wonderful man, and we will have him come and speak in just a few minutes. But at the beginning of all of our meetings, we always start with the Pledge of Allegiance and with an opening prayer. And then we have a wonderful dinner for you as well. Tell me your catering. Local neighborhood group. We had them last month at our meeting, and the food was so wonderful. We have them back again. So you're in for a treat today. I'm going to ask Linda Silva to come and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then our member Gerald Cook will give us our invocation and blessing on the food.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings that you've given us. Lord, we just ask that you bless each person's family represented here. Lord, we just ask that throughout the school year that you bless them, help them to be a lighthouse in this community, that others might see you through them. Lord, we just ask that you bless this food to the nurse for our bodies. Forgive us where we failed you. For it's in Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We will now ask you to come and get your meal and go ahead and start eating. We need to get going with our program, but please continue to eat. I want to turn the time over now to Milton Van Dusen, who is over the Jack Frost Invitational, and I'm going to let him carry the rest of the program.
I wasn't really planning on being the MC, but Dr. Barney has some pressing issues at home, I think, right now he's taking care of. What we're going to do is introduce the girls and the boys, and then we'll talk a little bit about our tournament after that. And this is the 39th year of our tournament. How I became involved is I had kids that went to Georgetown High School, played basketball, and I got to know Mr. Frost, and that all kind of evolved into what I'm doing now. So.
And you never get out of it, do you?
I feel like it's my way of giving a little back, because I appreciate the schools my kids went to, the teachers, and the coaches, all of that. So we're going to start out with Coach Canfield, our new boys coach. Coach comes from Lake Travis, right, Coach?
Yes, sir.
And he has some of his players here, so he's going to talk a little bit about his team and introduce his players. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Come on up, guys. Coach Washington. I want to take this time to just say thank you very much. We appreciate this. I've been at Lake Travis for the last 6 years and been an outsider looking into the tournament. And, well, I'll tell you what, y'all do a great job putting the tournament on. It's an incredible tournament and just an awesome opportunity for people to come together and play. And I will say, as a coach looking at the tournament, it's always done well. It's always done well. We always come to it, and the expectations are just really high. And Milton, you do a great job putting it on. So thank you for doing that. And the foundation of putting all this together, you do a great job of bringing the community together. And it really highlights Georgetown and what Georgetown provides and the opportunities Georgetown has. So at this time, I wanted to introduce my assistant coach and some of the senior players that I have. So first of all, Coach Washington right here. He came from Leander High School this past season, and I'm thrilled to death to have him. He is an incredible asset. Talk about a guy who just dives in to the program, gets his hands dirty, and does a great job with relationships with players, and that's what this is all about. So thank you, Coach Washington. Next is Billy Stallsworth, senior, and this is going to be his first year this year, and he comes to us and does a great job of just bringing a lot of energy and passion to the game, and so he's got a lot of athleticism and he's got a high ceiling, so I appreciate Billy. Next is senior Austin Brent. And Austin has been with the program for 4 years. This is his first year as a varsity player. And talk about a guy that has doesn't mind getting sweaty, getting dirty, and getting after it. He gets out there and works hard, does an extremely good job, is a great teammate, and it does a great job with that. Thank you, Austin. Next is senior Preston Mckay. And Preston is a first-year varsity player as well. This season, we've got a lot of first-year varsity players, but we've got a lot of seniors that brings a lot of some challenges, but a lot of great experiences they've had. We've got to hit the season running. Preston can extend the floor. He can shoot the three-pointer. He can defend. It doesn't matter, guard, post. He gets after it. Is that correct?
It's true.
It's true. Okay. All right, that's right. So, Preston, I appreciate what you bring. And next is Adam Gazelle. Adam is a senior. He's a two-time letterman, and he does a great job. And talk about a guy who doesn't care who gets the credit. He's out there, and he just does the small things right. Is an incredible player, incredible teammate, and does a fabulous job showing the players the expectations that we have moving into senior varsity season. So real quick, I'm going to bring Adam up here to talk about the Jack Frost tournament. He's the only one that's been up here and has played in it, so I just wanted to give him the opportunity to share a little bit.
Okay. For many years, the Jack Frost tournament has been one of the most prestigious tournaments in the state, and having that tournament just right before district really helps us prepare for what comes, and just having us do well in district. I'd just like to thank you all for putting that together and donating the amount that you do to help us win. Thank you.
Well, we kick off the season tonight. Tonight's our first game at McNeil High School, so it's our opportunity to get out there and let's see what happens. But these guys have put in a lot of work. We're looking forward to what we can do at the Jack Frost tournament. We've got a lot of great teams coming in. We've got Lake Travis, who's ranked in the state, and Churchill coming in from San Antonio. We've got a couple new teams. We've got a great field this year. So again, we appreciate it. We thank you very much for donating your time, your money, and everything you can to allow us the opportunity to host the tournament and just show everybody what Georgetown is about. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach. Might as well open up with the easy one on the road, huh?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, next up, we'll have the girls' team and some players. Coach Farney will introduce them. I think Coach Farney could probably tell us maybe a little bit how the Jack Frost tournament originated. Do you know actually how it got started? Okay, well, okay, so here's Coach Farney and the girls. They played tonight at home against Luncheon. Yeah, another night.
Thank you so much, Milton. There are just a few people that I want to recognize. I want to recognize our principal who's here, Wes Banachek. Thank you very much for being here. I want to thank Larry Pleiter, who is the Sun City Booster Club president, for being here. Thank you very much. Raylan, who is our writes for us and has continued to write for us, even though we don't have sports coverage any longer with the Sun, but he does such a great job. And also Russell Wren for being here, and kind of the same thing, still looking hopefully to be able to have sports coverage again in our newspaper. But you know, both of these men have really dedicated and sacrificed to be able to continue to give us coverage, and we really appreciate that. And I want to thank David Daniel. David Daniel is one of our true fans. He made the trip with us this weekend. He was there at noon last Wednesday and loaded up all the girls' belongings and carted all that down for us and took care of us all weekend. We appreciate him and his parents and for what they've done for our program over the years. Thank you very much, David. Linda Silva not only is very instrumental in Jack Frost Foundation, but she also is our treasurer for our booster club, and we appreciate very, very much the countless hours that she spends doing that. We really appreciate that. And appreciate Chuck, appreciate your allowing her to do that, and giving up and sacrificing your time so that she can do that.
Don't say that.
And then last but not least, I just want to thank Milton and Nancy. They're dear friends of ours. Milton's had two daughters that's come through our program. He has a son, Keaton, who's been in college and has been intimately involved with boys basketball at a high level, and he's back here for a while, and so we're trying to tap into some of his strengths, and we just appreciate so much what both of you do. And since Mr. Frost isn't in this community anymore, then I think, Milton, you do such a good job of just keeping his legacy alive and making sure that everybody knows all the great things that he has done. And just a quick thing, actually, I think I've been here 30 years, and the Jack Frost tournament was going strong when I got here. And my first year was Mr. Frost. My first year here was his first year to not be the superintendent. He was the superintendent here for 17 years. And the Jack Frost tournament got going during that time. And I know that it's been a staple. It's been something we've enjoyed. JB's played in that tournament, and his sister played in that tournament. And every player that's come through the Boys or Girls program, for the last 39 years, that's incredible, has had an opportunity to play in that tournament, and it really means a lot to all of us. I have to tell this one funny story before I turn over and let the girls talk to you a little bit about what's really important. But I have to tell this, and David, you're probably going to be angry at me when I tell this, but it's just one of the funniest stories about the Jack Frost tournament. So a little bit earlier this year, one of our assistants, we had a team drop out of the boys bracket, and so Coach Canfield was diligent about finding another quality team to fill that tournament slot. And so one of our coaches overheard him trying to get somebody to come to the tournament. He said, "It is such a great tournament. It's great support from the community. It's a wonderful place to play. You'll play in front of a great crowd, and if you win, you'll get $5,000 for your booster club." And so this conversation goes on, and so one of our coaches comes back, and they're like, "Does David really think that the winner is going to get $5,000 for their booster club?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, I know, I heard him say that. So one of them said something to me. He's like, "Well, yeah, I thought that." He's like, we were a couple of years ago, he was at Lake Travis, and Lake Travis always has a great team, and they had lost to one of the top teams in the state, and that top team was playing, and after the tournament, he saw them with a big check. It said $5,000. Of course, he was taking a picture with one of you sponsors that sponsored, but, yeah, Coach Canfield and Lake Travis thought that they were getting that $5,000 since they didn't win the tournament. So anyway, we were like,
We can actually give these checks away.
I think that would be so great. And I'm like, hey, whatever we have to do to get the best teams in the state, whatever we have to say, you know, we will say that to get them here. But I thought that was such a precious, precious story. So forgive me. But a great story. I'm going to introduce the girls and let them talk with you just a minute. All three of the girls are captains. The way we do captains is we elect captains. We elected 2 captains at the end of the spring off season, and we did another one when school started. And I just could not be more pleased. I feel very, very fortunate that these 3 girls are our captains, because they have been they've been instrumental in what we've already been able to accomplish. And we've been off to kind of a rough start. I mean, we're off to a 3-2 start, but we've lost some really. We lost some of our key players, and it's the first time, I think, in my 43 years of coaching that we did not have a starter coming back. So we had one, and then the first day of practice, she sustained a concussion, and she's not going to be able to play any longer. So we live in that day and age where those kind of things can happen, you know, anytime. So we're sad about that, but I'm really, really pleased that we have the type of leadership that we have, because they've not missed a beat. And as soon as that happened, Jalen was coming back off of a shoulder injury that had sidelined her for over a month. And then we have a senior, Emily Harris, who's sidelined with an Achilles injury. And then we have another player who's been sidelined for like the last 3 games. So we were down to 7 players. And we played a very up-tempo defense in the tournament. And they just got better every time they played. And so that's really what this is all about. So I'm going to turn it over and let them talk with you a little bit about the tournament, or whatever they want to talk about.
Okay, from the beginning of the tournament, we started off a little bit rough, and I was honestly a little bit scared about how the season was going to go. But the next game, we didn't play defeated. We turned around and beat the team by 20 points, so I felt like that was an improvement, and I feel like we're such a young team, and we're just going to keep improving. And I'm super excited to get to be a part of this, and thank you guys for the Jack Frost tournament and everything you do for us.
And you are?
Maddie Vickers. I'm a senior.
Maddie Vickers.
Hi, I'm Jalen. I'll be the junior this year, and like Maddie said, it was a very rough start to our first part of the tournament, and you know, you go all that way, you pack all those bags, and David had to haul them all over the place, and then we lose, and there was a pretty bad game, and you're just like, oh crap, this is going to be some weekend. But we ended up having a little powwow, and we came back that second game and just crushed it. And I think that was really the turning point for us, and knowing that we can do that, because we are a very inexperienced team, and we just don't know what our strengths are and what we can be. And I mean, we were in this situation last year. We were like 0-5 or something like that, and we just kept chugging along, and then we ended up to the 5th round of the playoffs. I mean, it can be done, and so I'm excited to see what we do tonight and how we step up to the challenge, and I'm excited to play with these girls, and they're my very, very best friends, and so yeah.
I'm Josie Wire, and I was just going to talk about the Jack Frost tournament, just because I played in it last year, and it is like Coach was saying, like, it is the best teams in the state. Like, every game, there was not one easy game. And I just think that's really important, because, I mean, why would you want to go to a tournament that you know you're just going to win every game and stuff and, like, not have a challenge? And I just, like, thank y'all for all the support that y'all give us and provide all these great fundraisers and stuff to have us have a great tournament. So, thank y'all.
And I think, too, one of the things that makes this tournament so special is that it really is the premier boys and girls tournament in the state. You know, there are not very many tournaments any longer where both the boys and girls play. It's something we look forward to, because we get to see our guys play, and since we play opposite each other, we don't always get to do that. So that's something that's very special about this. And we do have the best teams in the state. Last year, our championship was a preview of the state championship between Argyle and Liberty Hill. And, you know, it could be again because both of those teams are back again. We have some of the best teams in the state in 6A as well as all the way down to through 4A. So, you know, hope that you will make it a point to come out. We'll have a great concession stand and a great hospitality. And so hope that you'll join us. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Coach. One thing I can say, I've followed the girls program for about 15, 16 years now. I know some in here a lot longer, but they will get better. I mean, I've seen it year after year, and sometimes they're not so pleasant the way they start, but they work extremely hard, they're well coached, and they will get better. I can assure you that. So, okay, for our tournament, I want to ask the sponsors to please, when we finish here, please stay around so we can get a picture. Russell will get a picture of everybody. If you would do that, please, we'd appreciate it.
And the tournament is what dates?
I'm sorry?
The tournament is what dates?
It is November 30th, December 1st, and 2nd. Our website is jackfrosttournament.com that you can go to for more information. So this tournament, to me, it's a very easy tournament to get behind because we have a great community, we have great schools, we have 2 great programs, and so it's easy to get the community and the people behind something like that. And so I am so appreciative of our sponsors because without the sponsors and without the people that work in the tournament, we couldn't do it. I mean, there's no way we could do what we do. And each year we try to do something to make the tournament a little better and make the experience for the people that are coming to visit Georgetown a little better. You know, it's a natural fit with the city of Georgetown being one of our sponsors because, you know, our square and everything that goes on in Georgetown. Have the Christmas stroll that goes on the Saturday of the tournament. So all of that just kind of fits into a really good mix to put on a good tournament. So I want to recognize a few people here. Some of them Coach Farney mentioned, but I want to thank Russell. Russell takes pictures that we use for the tournament and publicizing the tournament and so forth, and Russell's gracious enough to do that for us. I want to thank Galen too, because Galen, like Coach Farney said, he does some writing for the programs. He does some press releases for our tournament. So we have a series of press releases leading up to the tournament that Galen writes for us, and thank you, Galen, for that. Also, we're probably going to have to, at some point in this tournament, rename our hospitality room after Galen. One of the traditions of the tournament is Galen in the hospitality room. He spends a lot of time. Yeah. And I also want to thank David Daniel. David kind of serves as host of our tournament. He's there the whole time. When the teams arrive at the gym, he gets them all situated with the locker room and where they need to be. And so we really couldn't do it without David, and he spends a tremendous amount of time helping us with the tournament. So thank you, David. Thanks for being here too. And then Larry, Coach Farney mentioned Larry Platter with the Sun City Boosters. I think one of the special things about our tournament is when you come into the gym, you're greeted with a happy, smiling face. And Larry puts together the volunteers that man the front of the gates when people come in. So that's a big job. And how many volunteers do we have, Larry? That
probably, I think they're covering 42 times, but not 30.
Yeah, so we have that many people from Sun City that volunteer their time and help us with all of that. And it makes a big difference when you walk into the gym, and it's a good experience. It makes a lot of difference. Many times that starts their trip and their visit to Georgetown. So they're coming into Georgetown High School, and it just goes from there. So thank you guys, and thank you all for being here. Now our sponsors. We have 3 main title sponsors: Hat Creek Burger Company, Farmers Insurance, and Minuteman Press. We could not put on the type of tournament that we put on without these three major sponsors. And so I know the programs and I know everybody involved in this tournament is so appreciative of that. Today we have Hat Creek Burger, Victor Valdez from Hat Creek here. Victor, right there's Victor. Victor, our Hat Creek gives us a $10 coupon for every coach and every player in the tournament. So every player in our team gets to go to Hat Creek and eat. And I think I've seen some things hanging up in the foyer there of Hat Creek about some of the teams have actually responded and, you know, and been appreciative of what they do. So those things they get noticed. They get noticed. So thank you, Victor. Minuteman Press. Minuteman Press has been with us since when I started with this tournament a number of years ago, and we wanted to make the tournament a little bigger, a little more more of an event, more of a destination type tournament. Minuteman was jumped right on board and helped us with doing all of our signage and our promotional materials and things like that. And they do a great job of helping us with that. I can remember the first time I met with Ty, and we kind of talked about things, and Ty's continued to be there the whole way. And today, from Minuteman, we have Blake Nicholson and Betsy LeClaire, and they're back there. Thank you, guys. And our other large sponsor is Farmers Insurance. For those of you that are not familiar with the Briggs family and Farmers Insurance, the Briggs family is very involved here in Georgetown. The kids went to Georgetown High School. Mr. Briggs works for the city, and then Jana and Jamie and their family have the Farmers Briggs Insurance Agency. And they had a daughter that played basketball. Jamie played basketball, so they've been involved in our schools as well. And so, Jamie, we really appreciate what y'all have done over the years, supplying us with players, Briggs players for the program, and what you do to help support us now. So that's Jamie Briggs right there. If you guys don't I would like to say, put in a plug for these three. If you need insurance, consider Farmers. If you need hamburgers, consider Hat Creek. And if you need printing, everybody does printing at some time with invitations, thank Minuteman. So I would encourage everybody to support our sponsors. So. And then we also
say that I've already had an experience today with Farmers.
Oh yeah, we have an ongoing situation.
We had a catastrophe at our house this morning, and so I didn't know what to do or who to call when I couldn't get the water shut off. And so who did I call? I called the Briggs. And so within 5 minutes, Jana had everybody that I needed and everything lined out. So
Jamie said he's going to your house right after this to check on you. That's pretty good service. That's pretty good service. So we have a number of other sponsors. Really too many to mention. I mean, we have a lot, and I would encourage all of you, if you come to the gym during the tournament, we have those sponsors listed up there in our program and also in signage throughout the gym. Please take note of our sponsors. Of course, we have the Jack Frost Foundation as one of our sponsors, and also the Community Spotlight, and obviously they're here today. That's what this meeting is for. So, does anybody have any questions about the tournament? Any questions in general? Well, we start on the 30th. I think the girls play 2 games on the 30th on that Thursday, and the boys play 1 game. And then it flip-flops on Friday. The boys play 2, and the girls play 1. The neat thing about the first 2 days of the tournament is the boys and girls play back-to-back on that in the evening of Thursday and Friday. So it's a good chance to go and see both teams play, and we have a good crowd at the gym. And that, if you hadn't been out there before, we encourage all of our sponsors to please come by and enjoy our hospitality room. And also, if you can make it to the tournament, we want to recognize you there as well. So I'll be in touch with y'all about that. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much. Please stay around for some pictures with the players and coaches.
Thank you, Mr. Mendelson, and thank all of you for coming today. We honor you and we're excited about this year for both teams, so good luck. We would like to have a picture with all of you and some of the big checks. So if you can come and stand between these two flags so that we can get a picture. Thank you.